name is Shalom. I'm an educator in STEM Cafe. Today I'm going to tell you what you can do when you come to STEM Cafe. Have you ever thought about being a great inventor or innovator? Have you ever thought about exploring with science? You can do all that in STEM Cafe. Welcome to STEM Cafe. You can explore different careers in STEM. Our career of the day is hydrogeologist. A hydrogeologist is a person who studies the ways that groundwater moves through the soil and rock of the earth. Remember, hydro means water, and when you talk about the earth, you talk about geology. A similar profession to hydrogeologist is a hydrologist, and is someone who studies surface water. Now let's talk about fun facts. Fun facts about water. Fun fact number 1. The existence of water is essential for life on Earth. Fun fact number 2. Water has 3 different states: liquid, solid, and gas. Fun fact number 3. Water can move up narrow tubes against the force of gravity in what is known as capillary action. Let's see what the children around the world are doing and if they have questions for me.
Hey, have you watched the last food truck racing? It was so great. Yeah, I did. Hey, Mom! Hey, I'm thirsty. Mom! Please, can I have a drink?
Sure, you can have one.
Thanks. How does the liquid come out of the straw? Let's ask Auntie Shalom! Auntie Shalom!
This is because of capillary action. Do you know what capillary action is? Let's find out more about this in our color-changing walking water experiment. Now, let's go to our magic cabinet. Are you wondering what we're going to do today? Welcome to our magic closet. We're going to be grabbing the materials we need for our experiment. Remember, we're going to have fun. So get an adult to help you grab these materials. Be careful with the materials that you can use. And remember, these materials can be found at home and they are recyclable. So don't throw things away. You might want to use them to explore one day. Let's get our materials. Meet me at the workstation. Today we're going to be doing another fun science experiment. The name of our experiment is called Color Changing Walking Water Experiment. If you didn't get that, I said Color Changing Walking Water Experiment. And we're going to be exploring STEM concepts around capillary action and colors. Capillary action is the ability of a liquid to flow through tiny spaces without the assistance of external forces like gravity. And in colors, we're going to be exploring primary colors and secondary colors. What we need for this experiment are cups, tape, a marker, popsicle sticks, a ruler, paper towel, food coloring, and water. Have you ever thought about how plants get their nutrients from the soil? When you water a plant in the garden, how does the water poured on the surface of the soil get into the roots, to the stem, and to the leaves of the plant, causing them to grow? We're going to find out today with different materials around us to explore color-changing walking water experiments. The first thing we'll do is get our cups. We're going to be using one as our measuring cup. You can get as many cups as possible, but now we want to use 5 cups. And then you label your cups from 1 to 5. and 5. So we have 5 cups. So now we're going to pour water into these different cups, but we're going to pour water into the odd number cups. The cups labeled with the odd numbers. Do you know the difference between odd numbers and even numbers? So you can identify the odd numbers and even numbers from what we have here. Our odd numbers are, let's go, 1, 3, and 5. And our even numbers are 2 and 4. Our odd numbers are 1, 3, and 5. And our even numbers are 2 and 4. Why are they odd numbers and even numbers? They are odd numbers because they are not divisible by 2. And they are even numbers because they are divisible by 2 without any remainder. Odd numbers are not divisible by 2, and even if you divide them by 2, you have a remainder. The odd numbers are 1, 3, and 5, and our even numbers are 2 and 4. So we're going to pour water half full into our odd number cups, and our odd numbers 1, 3, and 5. So we get our cup. Carefully pour water into your odd number cups, half full. Carefully. We have them up to half full, and this is a little less. Okay. You can use your ruler to measure the length of the cup and then divide by 2 so you can get the half mark. The next thing we want to do is to put in our food coloring. So we're going to put the blue food coloring. You can get a paper towel and place by your side so you can be careful. Then pour a little inside the water. Then yellow one. Pour a little inside the water. And red. You can use different colors of food coloring. Carefully, just a little. Carefully stir the 3. Do you know why we are using different popsicle sticks? So that we don't mix the colors together. Good. So we have water in our odd number cups, 1, 3, and 5. Remember, we are doing the color changing walking water experiment. And what we are learning from this is capillary action. When the plant is watered, the water from the soil moves through the process of capillary action. And we're going to see this water walk. Have you ever seen water walk? You're going to see this water walk from this cup to the other cup. And just like that. So now we have our water. We don't have the leg of the water. Remember, use your legs to walk, right? So now we're going to find something to make our legs and to see how water can walk by capillary action. And can you guess what the leg of the water will be? Our tissue roll. So we have our tissue roll. We want to cut out a piece. How many do we need? So the water is going to walk from one cup to the other, from this cup to the other, from this cup to the other, from this cup to the other. So let's count how many tissue rolls we need. We need 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we need 4 of these. 2, 3, and 4. So you have your tissue rolls. You carefully fold them into a tiny long strap. Like this. You do the same for all of them. You can get an adult to help you do this neatly. You can get a friend to help you do this neatly. Remember, we need 4 of them. So this is going to serve as the leg of our water so that it can walk. 3, and 4. Now you have the 4 of them. We're going to bend them into 2 equal parts, like this. So you pick up one, bend into 2, and then place one leg here and one here. And watch, you do the same until you get to the last one. Remember, there's no water in our even number cups. And fold it again. And the last one. Good. Now watch. Can you tell me what you see? I can see that the tissue changes color to the color of the water. This is turning red, this is turning yellow, and this is turning blue. And so we are going to leave this over a period of time to see what happens. You can leave it for about 30 minutes or 1 hour, depending on the thickness of your tissue roll. And then we'll tell you what happens after the 30 minutes or the 1 hour. So start your clock. Time's up. So now this is what we have. Remember, we left this for about 30 minutes and we can see something. Can you tell me what you can see? Remember, the name of our experiment is color changing walking water experiment. And we said the water is going to walk from the odd number cup to the even number cup, and all of them are going to walk through the tissue one way or the other into the other. Did you notice that we put the water up to half full? And now you can see it's down. They all almost are of equal size because the water walked from one cup to the other. What else can you notice from this experiment? What colors did we use initially? We used blue, yellow, and red. But now we can see 2 extra colors, green and orange. Wow! That means these 2 colors mixed to form this, and these 2 colors mixed to form this. Now, blue, yellow, and red are called primary colors. They are called primary colors. They are the root of every other color. So when 2 primary colors mix, they form a secondary color. When 2 primary colors mix, they form a secondary color. Now can you tell me, yellow and red form what? Orange. And blue and yellow form what? Green. Good. And remember, the water walked from one cup to the other by what? Capillary action. And in capillary action, you would observe that there is a force of attraction between the tissue and the water, and that force is called adhesion. Force of adhesion between the tissue and the water. Force of adhesion is the force that causes molecules that are different to join or to stick together. And so the water and the tissue stuck together to cause the movement of the water. and it was higher and stronger than the force of cohesion in the water. Because remember, water is held together by force of cohesion. Because they have like molecules inside the water, so the water is held together by cohesion. And the force that is holding the tissue and the water is the force of adhesion. And the force of adhesion is stronger than the force of cohesion, just between the water and the tissue roll. So now we can see that our water can walk by the action of what? Capillary action or capillary forces. And remember, we said capillary action is what? The movement of liquid through narrow spaces, very narrow spaces, without the assistance of external forces like gravity. So we can say that this particular experiment can also teach us about primary colors and secondary colors. Now remember, we used tape, pen or marker, a ruler if you need one, measuring cup, tissue roll, clean water, and food coloring. And we learned about primary colors, secondary colors, and capillary action. An example of something that works like this in your environment is when you water a plant, the water doesn't just stay at the surface, it goes into the roots, moves to the stem, to the leaves, the flowers, and if possible, the fruits. So you can see, you don't need to open the leaf to pour in water for it to grow. Remember, water is an essential part of growth of a plant. But when you pour the water on the soil, it moves from one place to the other, from the root to the stem, to the leaves, to the flowers, and to the fruit by capillary action. And that is an example of something that works like the walking water experiment. Now, let's see how much you've learned from this experiment. What do you think causes the water to walk from one cup to the other? Capillary action. Do you know the difference between primary colors and secondary colors? Can you identify the primary colors here and the secondary colors here? Can you identify the odd numbers and the even numbers from what we've done? And the final one, what example of things in your environment follows the same principle of the color changing walking water experiment? You can find out the answer and tag us on our social media platforms to let us know how much you know. Keep exploring. See you next week. Bye. You can follow us on our social media platforms for more engaging content, projects, and experiments.